I don't think they could have chosen an uglier Snow White. Like, jeez. Hail, Vince Womack. Thank you for joining me. Like, I mean, look at this lady's face. Okay? This isn't exactly what I planned on talking about when I came on here today, but look at her face. This is the ugliest freaking person I have ever seen that's supposed to play Snow White. I mean, look at this. And it has nothing to do with her race, in my opinion. It has to do with the fact that she looks fucking ugly. All right? This lady looks like she should be used as a paint scraper. Just her face. And Gal Gadot's supposed to be an evil woman that's like jealous of that? What? What's up, brightest day? Hope your day's going good, bro. I mean, so many bad choices are going around Hollywood right now, and like seriously, this picture right here, she looks like one of those old like Barbie dolls after you like smushed its face. And then, I mean, come on. Whatever happened? Whatever happened to casting people that looked good? I mean, I could stomach Gal Gadot being Snow White. Like that could be excusable in my book. Yeah, she doesn't exactly fit the namesake, but whatever. At least then, if they swap the roles on this, it would make sense on the evil stepmother being jealous of how good looking Snow White is. But I mean, shit, this one right here, she looks, similar, considering that's like god awful. What? There's so much stupid shit going on in the world and around Hollywood. I just don't fucking get it. This whole Joe Rogan thing that happened blew my mind because, like, nobody saw any of this coming until it was there. And, like, now everybody is either defending each other or attacking each other. And it confuses me because I'm personally sick of all of the confrontation that's going around. And like people are making amends with each other and then they're grouping up to hate other people. And it's just fucking weird, right? Hello, Lasso of Truth. Thank you for joining me on this weird ass I didn't plan this out in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to say that I didn't. Is infuriating that Disney removed the role opportunity from comics. If you're talking about the dwarves, that is unfortunate that comics division won't be able to be in a big movie. I mean, that was the only real role that he could have actually gotten into, was just like a dwarf or like, something along those lines. But then, you had to have Peter Dinklage go, I climbed to the top and then I pulled the ladder out from under me. And, there was a lot of people really upset about that. I'd call them big names, but I guess they could be big names with little bodies. No hate, just saying. Anyway. And then I'm taking a break from Twitter right now because I'm just kind of sick of constantly being bombarded by negative shit and, the constant strife that occurs in life and stuff like that. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I know it. That's why I'm a rapper. What's up? Anyway, so I'm taking a break from Twitter and I'm doing TikTok videos that are going to Instagram and stuff like that. I'm not super worried about that because, China's already got all my information. So what are they going to do? They're going to realize that I'm not worthy of a social credit score. And I'm dropping this stuff on TikTok and like, as long as you do 4 videos a day, you can start averaging anywhere between 250 and 800 views per video, depending on the content. And of course, my joke videos get a lot more views than just anything else. But I'm going on there and I see these TikTok people. And I'm like, how in the hell does this person have 225,000 likes. Like, they open their mouth and it sounds like somebody's stabbing me in the ear. You know, they put their face on there and I want to gouge my eyes out. They're ugly and it's stupid and they don't. Here's me being shallow, by the way, but I mean, realistically, do you remember when stars used to be attractive? Famous people used to have to be attractive or like incredibly disfigured in order to be like a household face, you know? Like, that or they had to be really annoying, like Gilbert Godfrey. Like, I never understood why that man was famous outside of the fact that his voice was so bad that it's like, shoot me. But then he was everywhere in the 90s and stuff. You see, Vince, TikTok does not have tits. I'm pretty sure they do, but my videos don't have tits because I'm flatter than a 2x4, you know? Like, tits do sell, though. I'll admit that. You know, if I wasn't a straight married white man that had a good head on his shoulders, I might just go ahead and get a pair of boobs. I might buy a pair of implants just to mess around with and throw at people, and that would be funny. Just a thought. So, another side note is there won't be any thinking out louds for a little while because I'm working on something really, really special, actually. It's a hip hop song that's going to appear both on Corey and here on Sir Talks a Lot called 18 Voices. And the whole point of the song is to rap in my 18 character voices and my normal voice and whatnot. And so far it's turning out pretty good. I mean, I don't exactly know how to fit 18 voices into 4 minutes of song, but I'm trying. You know, I'm trying. Like, here's a little taste. This is Basil's thing, just in case I go mush mouth. Hi, my name is Basil. If you could describe my skills, you would say they're amazeballs. Yeah, my name is Mob. That fuzzy shit seems like a tard. Making his brain work is too hard. Hey, you better watch it, old man. I'm Dalton, and I'll give you the back of my hand. You know, something like that. It's still a work in progress, but, 18 voices. I'm going to try to free flow it in a single run through on it. It's going to be fantastic. Mickey Rourke fits both boxes. Used to be one of the beautiful Hollywood people, and then he went under the knife and came out on the other side. Dude, he turned into one of the ugliest looking ladies I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh my gosh, he makes that, what was her name, Momo, that crazy lady on the internet, that thing on the internet that caused a bunch of people to kill themselves. Like, he makes that thing look attractive in comparison. Like, Mickey Rourke, bro, I'll never consider that man badass again. Not that I really did in the first place. I mean, he's kind of a funky looking fool. You know what? I need to see a picture of this ugly fucker. Rourke. God, that's ugly, man. I mean, I don't want to share the entire screen. I want to share that, you piece of shit. All right. All right. I mean, seriously. What happened, bro? It's like he chose to just become ugly. God, I didn't need to see that picture. That's nasty. Like, look at him. Look at how actually handsome this man used to fucking be. I mean, he looks like a mixture of like Bradley Cooper down in this picture here and like Kiefer Sutherland up in here and stuff. And then, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Hollywood and liberal politics does to you. You're not wrong, Lasso. Actors never look good after plastic surgery. It does just look weird, but it makes for some funny comments. God, no, that one breaks my brain too. Look at this fool. Like, what? What is that? It's like he's trying to be Johnny Depp, but then like, I don't even know how to put that into words. Like, what is his forehead is gigantic. Holy shit. Gosh. And his face makes him look like he could play Harambe in a live action freaking. Oh, he does. He does look like somebody's Grandma Vance. Like, ah. Like, what in the. Ooh, there's an attractive picture. Let's get that one up big time. Like, holy shit. What's wrong with his face? That is a perfect question. And the answer, everything. Why? Because he's a Hollywood star. Hollywood stars wind up looking ugly, or they wind up all bloated and stuff, like The Rock with his muscles. I call it bloated because I swear that's pumped so full of steroids that, like, ooh. I'm sorry. They're protein supplements. They're not steroids. They're protein supplements. Yes. I mean, I didn't have a plan coming into this. Obviously, I'm just kind of like spinning my wheels and stuff. But, you know, that System of a Down song comes on sometimes and it says, you should have never trusted Hollywood. I think about that all the time, especially since I'm trying to become an actor in small ways. I'm not putting any real effort into it at the moment because, I mean, I don't know whether I'm allowed to go to places without being jabbed 3 times and, you know, all that other stuff. So I'm just kind of putting the acting thing on the back burner and just chilling and hanging out on the internet with random people and, you know, building up a small following of individuals that are like, this guy is fucking weird. I'm going to follow him around on social media. I don't understand how people follow me on social media. I mean, let's just jump over to Twitter real quick. How many followers I got on here? I mean, honestly, let's see. I have 258 followers on Twitter. I post memes. I say stupid shit. I occasionally say something smart, but it's not. Crap, be right back. Forgot to refill my coffee. I'm sorry you need an extra pick-me-up. My face should be enough to get you jazzed. Scare you so bad the adrenaline goes, ugh! I'm awake now. Anyway, that was a shitty joke. God. They say self-deprecating humor is like the bottom of the barrel for most comedians, but I feel like if most modern comedians would actually take the time to, I don't know, self-deprecate a little bit, they'd be funnier, especially those women, those female comedians. Like, no sexist shit intended, but when it boils down to it, I have trouble finding female comedians who are actually funny. If any of you can name one female comedian that I can agree with that's funny, then good on ya. I can't, like, stand-up comedians as far as females go, can't think of a single one. Comedic actresses, I mean, there's some that are okay. Like, a lot of people would be like, Wanda Sykes, and I'm like, she is terrible in my book. So bad. See, she knows right here. Female comedians don't exist. They all talk about their vagina and periods. Yes, that's literally all they can talk about. Because you know what interesting shit happens to these female comedians? Nothing. It's because we live in a society where people are all of a sudden afraid to even approach women in any way, so they don't have any fun stories to tell. All right? Men walk out in public, and there's a chance they're going to get punched in the face. They're going to get ran over by a car. There's a chance that, you know, any bad thing could happen to them at any time that they could then turn into a huge freaking joke, and it'd be hilarious. Like Ralphie May, when he's talking about getting banned from a certain coffee shop, you know, Starfucks, he can't say their name and stuff, but he's getting arrested for going off on a dirty white boy with dreadlocks and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you never hear a female comedian talking about stuff like that because the female comedians see the dirty white dreads and be all like, oh, no, you didn't. And then like she'd start throwing coffee and stuff like that. And it'd be all over the 9 o'clock news and stuff. And like, are there any repercussions for celebrities these days other than getting canceled? I mean, that one guy that plays Flash choked out a chick in the middle of a store, and he's out here threatening KKK members and stuff like that. And he's just rolling through life like no big deal and stuff. But, you know, Joe Rogan uses the N-word in context of jokes and stuff like that. And like, well, let's take his head. And I'm like, you know what? You know what? Just shut up. Y'all need to fucking stop. All right? Twitter is the place you go to see a bunch of people screaming about a bunch of stuff that's not actually that big of a deal in real life. And yeah, I'm not talking about the political stuff and all of the whatnots that actually goes on and all the good stories that we see and hear that come out of it. I'm just like sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, you go, oh. There is or was a video of a female comedian who thought the audience didn't laugh because she's a woman, so she dressed up like a man, and, well, you can imagine what happened. Well, they either laughed because she looked like a cross-dresser, or they didn't laugh because she's not funny. Money on the second. Hollywood privilege. You're right, Lasso. It's all just a bunch of privilege. We talk about privilege like white privilege, male privilege, all this other stuff. And I'm like, when is that going to kick in for me? Like, I've got $6 in my bank account. I'm not outwardly famous just because I wanted to be. I've failed in 80% of everything that I've tried to do. No one is giving me handouts like everybody says there was. I'm still waiting for that to kick in, people. And yeah, Vince, total crickets. That's exactly what I thought would happen from her. I may come out. What is this? I've been getting worked up about the Matt Jarbo drama lately. I need to stop. See, I'm not familiar with the Matt Jarbo stuff anymore. I stopped paying attention to all that again. You know, there's only so much I can take of people talking about the same things or going back to the same people or more drama being created and stuff like that. So here's my advice to all of the wonderful internet peoples out there, my friends, families, strangers that are sitting there watching me. Please don't fap. But here's my advice. If it doesn't directly affect you in some way, like it can upset you emotionally, and that's understandable. But if it doesn't directly impact your life in any way, shape, or form, or physically harm you in any way, then it isn't actually something that you should give power to. Now, this is coming straight from Marcus Aurelius, of course, but nothing outside of your actual mind should be able to touch your mind without your express permission. So, like, when you see people and they're out there and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to be an advocate and I have to be a champion for these people. Why? Why do you have to be a champion for these people? They got voices. Like, yeah, it's good to have people in your corner, but something tells me that all of the people who are actually oppressed in this world aren't looking for a bunch of rainbow-haired, soy-soaked, like, flabby-assed retards to save them. I remember back in the day, people used to seek out therapy, and they'd have friend circles, and they'd go out and they'd have like support groups, and they do all kinds of stuff, and they'd have hobbies that took them away from stuff that made them upset so they could forget about it. But now, FOMO, fear of missing out, and like this addiction that we have right here, all that's out the window. People are just This is the new umbilical cord, ladies and gentlemen. It's feeding you everything you need to be toxically stupid in your life. I'm unplugging from Twitter for a while, and I don't know when I'll be back, but rest assured, I'll still know exactly what's going on. Why? Because I'm on 9gag. And 9gag is practically nothing but recycled Twitter screenshots. So, anyway, what's up, Vince? Social media isn't real life. I've been saying that for a while. And I'm a nobody, and somehow I've got 70 subs on Minds. Only a handful of them are Asian bots. Well, that's not bad. I mean, growth can happen from anywhere. And social media confuses me because some people will see a single post of you saying something that they agree with, and then they follow you. And then they realize you're not one of those mindless little tools that's like pushing buttons to just further the narrative and all this other stuff. And and then they unfollow you or they block you and all this other stuff. And then people get upset because they're like, oh, they unfriended me. And it's like, okay, go make some real friends. Like the people on the internet that are just like random encounters that you have, like no real interaction and stuff. They follow you, unfollow you, block you, all this other stuff. They send you hateful messages and you've never even talked to them and like all this. It's the epitome of the human cesspool. And I feel like as much as it would hurt the nation's infrastructure, if we lost the actual internet, like satellites blew up and power went out all over the place and shit like that, like people would lose their minds for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, unless you're in like a big city like LA, because then it would just burn to the ground and everyone would party. I'll bring the weenies to roast. But I forgot what I was saying. I got so sidetracked by the fact that, by the mental image of like LA burning down, like big old fence around it, surfing the Colorado. I really liked that Escape from LA movie. It was good. Like something about Pliskin in general is just a kick-ass character. I really wish we could have walled it all off in time. New York and LA would have been great. Hell, we could have set up a gladiatorial arena. Maybe some death race stuff. That's where we're going anyway. Eventually, people are going to be so bored, we're going to have to bring back Bloodsport in order to get viewership back up. Death Race and Gamer and all those things are cautionary tales for technology, but guess what? I'm okay with it if you just wall off LA and make that like LA Death Race City, Like just let all those crazy fuckers kill each other. Keep them away from me. I saw this thing on the internet the other day. This guy's all like, if you take a step away from the internet, all these things that people seem to be talking about, nobody's actually talking about it. I'm like, how about that? How about that? Like, unless, of course, you live in a place where these things are actually happening, you look out your window and things are automatically just like, that's not real. And you get wrapped up in like your own safety and whatnot. And you're like, oh, that could never happen here. And then you get complacent and stuff happens. But like, I live in Colorado, like the center of the United States where nothing like actually happens. Yes, we have bad things that happen, but if you look at it, the coasts, all the edge states get hit like 10 times worse than the middle of the fucking country. The food shortages and stuff like that, I don't see half of as many as you would see in like even Texas or Florida or especially California. But I think that's one of the reasons the middle states are so like disconnected with everything, is because a lot of them are like, well, it's not affecting me. Hey, what's that? 2 movies, Escape from New York and LA. And which cities are emptying right now? You're right. You're absolutely right. So I think, here's my idea. The elites love California, right? So we wall off LA. We wind up all the propaganda people and we shove them in LA, right? And the politicians, for some reason, love New York. So we wall off New York and we put all the politicians in there, right? We do Death Race LA, Gladiatorial Combat New York, and then whoever survives the grand battle royale gets a free trip to the bottom of the ocean with some lead anchors. Just a thought. Think about it before you poo-poo on the idea. It's just a thought. You know, I've always been for like sacrificing our leaders to volcanoes to try and fix things. We could try that too. You know, just like roasted weenies. I'd say I'm suffering from stream brain right now, but stream brain only kicks in when you have a plan. I don't. This is basically just a mental dysentery with me sitting on a screen. I will say one thing, though. The fucking CDC, I know, super political stream today, but whatever. The CDC needs to drop their non-immigrant, non-citizen travel restrictions with the Vax Pass. They just need to do that because without revealing too much personal information, I've been trying to save a friend from overseas for a while, and in order to get an immigrant visa, he has to wait until October or something like that. In order to get, you know, any type of visa, it's September to October before he can get in. But like the country he lives in right now is getting ready to like literally jail people who aren't jabbed, right? So, hey, CDC, the only thing standing in your way, standing in my way of saving a life is your fucking vax mandates, okay? I've been working for over a fucking year, excuse me, to save this individual from the socialistic hell that he exists in. And the only thing that's preventing it is the CDC. So, CDC, fuck you. What's up? We had one shortage at the very beginning of the coup when people were panic buying. Since then, folks figured out that nothing happened. You're correct. Vince, I can't disclose where they're at, but it is neither Australia or New Zealand. This is another super socialist state that everybody thinks is a fucking euphoria. It's not. F the government. Word to your mom. Came to drop bombs. Got more rhymes than the Bible's got Psalms. See, you see what you did, Lasso? Just a little thread and it's like... I'm kidding. That happens naturally without your help, but you are a great help in making it happen. See, the hugest problem I have right now in this world is not knowing what the fuck to do with my life. You know, I've been in an existential limbo for like the last 2.5, 3 years almost, because I'm like, at the end of 2019, I'm like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to travel. Yay. I had money saved up to go to New York and like hit up Prodigal Son set and be an extra and shit. And boom, 2020 happens. Not going to happen. Was going to go down to New Mexico, be an extra, get killed by Dave Bautista in the Army of the Dead movie. Nope, no out-of-state actors there. I was going to go out to California and actually start taking in-person acting classes from this really awesome guy named Robin Armstrong. Nope, I can do it online, but it's not the same for me. These people invited me out, and the government and the world was like, no. You know, when Lou Diamond Phillips is like, come out to the set, and I have the money to go out to the set, I want to make it happen. Struggle bus. Me, your bus is here. That's me. Struggle bus, 24/7, 365. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm struggle bussing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm nice and comfortable. And then my body's all like, no, that's a random pain. You can't sleep. This is probably the weirdest live stream I've ever done. One of the reasons I'm doing a solo live stream is not only the fact that I forgot to ask for guests this month, but I need to get more comfortable doing a solo live stream. I do, because I'm not always going to have guests. You know, I mean, I could bring on Culture and Nick Weiser and Comics Division and Willett Heroic Studios and David Blair and all these people over and over and over again, and I love those guys. I will have them on at any time, but every once in a while, we wind up here with me in an empty room, staring at a screen with a picture of myself on it, watching people talk. In the chat, Vince Womack. George may need some actors in the year's time. Hey, if George the Giant Slayer offers me a role, like if I even have the chance to audition for one of his roles, damn right I'm going to hit that up. Be like, you need an anorexic to play a stick? I'm a fuzzy stick, but I can still look like a stick. I just turn sideways. Poof, disappear. George is a kick-ass guy. Like, I'm not usually comfortable with older people. You know, it's the old person smell, but luckily the internet prevents that. So I can hang out with people like Culture Casino and George and, you know, old people. I'm laughing at myself with that one because I like these guys enough to give them shit. I was going to grow my hair out like Culture Casino, but, you know, decided to shave it instead, cut it off, and now I have a 90s hairdo. Yeah. You should see it. And I got the butt cut part right here. Yeah, butt crack. It's almost a mirror image of my chin. Butt crack. Don't know if he's doing live action or CGI. Well, Vince, luckily, I have just a little bit, tiny bit of experience doing voice acting. Now, I know that's a shock to the world. Everybody watching right now is like, what? What do you mean you can voice act? And I'm like, well, you know, sometimes God goes, here's these vocal cords. I'm going to make you sound like a schizophrenic. See, when I first got into voice acting, I was like, yo, I'm going to work for Disney. I'm going to work for Warner Brothers. I'm going to work for Netflix. I'm going to work for Amazon. I'm going to work for these people, that people, Pixar, this, that. And now I'm like, I don't have anybody to work for anymore. I need to start marketing myself overseas to the Japanese people. Because I bet you they'd use my white ass. Oh, yeah. They would. You know they love us over there. They do. A lot more than Americans love us. They're like, I can't believe you used that voice. I'm so offended. OMG. You're just gonna make me cry. Oh my goodness. And I'm over here like, bitch, I literally just said to get your Adam's apple out my face. Stop acting like a girl. You're a dude. That doesn't make any sense, but I said it anyway. That's right. Now that's some racist shit, Lasso. They love our round eyes. Did you know that their eyes are round too? Like, all eyeballs are actually round. Like, especially once you pop them out. No, I shouldn't say that on the internet. God, that's so mean. Too bad I have a face for radio and a voice for print. I don't believe you, Vince. For one simple reason. You've seen how fucking ugly the people in the world are. That's make it onto the corporate content. And I've heard how terrible voice actors are in modern commercials and video games and stuff like that. I think you would do 1,000,000 times better than some of these other people. I don't even bother to learn their names anymore. Alex Hernandez was the last new voice actor I ever paid attention to. As far as, like, you know, mainstream. In case you don't know who he is, you should totally Google it. The only movie I've ever seen him in was Bloodshot. The most slow motion I've ever seen in anything, and it ruined it. I wish I could have seen more of Alex Hernandez. He played the guy with the couldn't see, and like, oh, I see. Vince is like, yeah, he could be in monster movies. You know what? Everybody in the entire world loves a scary face, so why not capitalize on it, bro? I mean, shit. You saw how they made that dude look in the Elephant Man thing with the. I mean, you could do fine. Don't give me that. Plus, the more fucked up you look these days, the more likely you are to get, like, roles. I mean, I'm too plain looking a lot of the time. And they're all like, oh, he just doesn't have the pizzazz. You know, and a lot of the voices that I do, people are like, yeah, well, anyone can do that. I'm sorry. If Steve Buscemi can be famous, you're fine. Okay, small note. Steve Buscemi is an ugly-ass motherfucker, but he is an amazing actor. All right? Like, he doesn't have to do a lot. I don't know what kind of person he is in real life, but that doesn't matter because I always believe the characters. And plus, with a face that ugly, bank it. I mean, come on. You can monetize pretty, you can monetize ugly. You just can't seem to monetize normal. So, like, you know, I'm going to have to put on like 210 pounds of muscle and like look like I'm wearing like balloons all up in my shirt and shit. And I'm going to have to be like, I am the next big thing in action movies. And I'm going to, no. My goal is to regain the 20 pounds that I lost from being sick and then gain another 20 pounds so my body doesn't hurt. Yeah. Like, The Rock had this thing on TikTok yesterday or whatever, where he's like, tour the Iron Sanctum or whatever his gym is called and stuff. And I'm like, bro, how do you know that some of those muscle masses aren't cancer? Fuck cancer, but I'm just saying, like, when you start getting tiny packs of muscles within your muscles and it starts looking like you have like a 76 pack on your abs and shit, I'm like, some of those have to be tumors. The Rock is juiced. Yes, he is. He is juiced. It's performance enhancing supplements, though. It's not steroids. You know, never mind the fact that that's probably, you know, that's literally why he got kicked off the show Ballers, because they're like, you're juicing, bro. And he's like, no, I'm not. You should make me angry because my dick is small. I can't substantiate that. I have never seen, nor do I ever want to see The Rock's penis. I'm going to assume it's the same size as Kevin Hart and move on with my day. He resigned up with the fire department after 9/11 events. Dude, yeah, he did resign because, like, Steve Buscemi is an amazing person. Like, I had no idea he was a firefighter before all that. Like, he's a badass. You know, you ain't never gonna see anybody else do that. Like when Armie Hammer. Okay, and not the same level of awesome, but this dude wasn't able to act through 2019, 2020, 2021, whatever. And you know what he did? He didn't go out there and raise a bunch of stink and try to get famous off of saying stupid shit or cutting his penis off or anything like that. You know what he did? He went out and fucking worked construction because he was like, I gotta do something. And that's that. Because I guarantee you, that man has way more money than most of the people in our community combined. And I say most because you can't include Jeremy from the Quartering. I mean, his wife makes so much money, it's ridiculous. Armie Hammer's a great guy. I mean, he got hit with that smear campaign about being a cannibal. Like, I bought into that for a minute. I was like, he what? And then it was like, you know, I had to take a step back and be like, no, there's no way this fool's a cannibal. There's no way this guy's like a sexual monster. Like, I'm sorry. I can't see that with Armie Hammer. I just don't. Like, sure, there's other people in this world that I could say are definitely creeps, but I don't buy any Me Too claims. None of them. I don't either. And see, that's partially a problem. And what these idiot motherfuckers that start these internet-based movements don't understand is that the moment you try to push believe all women, Me Too, all this other shit, you start delegitimizing every single voice that's actually suffered in those communities. And I think that we're going to see an uptick, not that we haven't already, but we're going to see an even bigger uptick in false claims across the board, especially once they start like outlawing language and they start like burning books and, like start like mass injecting people with like soy and like estrogen and all this other stuff. And they're all like, "Urgh." That reminds me of my favorite insult. Okay, so my favorite insult from back in the day was calling someone a boob. Okay. And it's not just calling them a boob because, everybody's all like, boobs are wonderful. They provide life-giving nourishment for children and a lot of pleasure for the bearer, right? And I'm like, you're right. So you can't call him a boob, but you can call him a moo. That's just a useless sack of fat that hangs there and distracts people from what's actually important. So my new favorite insult, as tame as it seems, is calling someone a moob, because man boobs are useless, unless, of course, you need handles on the back of a motorcycle, and you're like, that's the true purpose of love handles, by the way. They're invented for people in the bitch seat on a motorcycle. Nice big old grab on. Yeah. Called them out when Me Too first started. I tried to tell them that legit victims wouldn't be believed. Well, that's what happens. And the believe all women thing. I mean, how many doors did that open for people to go like, he raped me? I'm not supposed to. He raped me. And it never actually happened. I mean, how many false claims have ruined people's lives because of stupid ass internet trends? Nobody can give me an accurate answer because nobody wants to own up to the fact that it's happening, especially not the tech giants. I mean, shit. Do you know how many people have probably been driven to suicide just by the amount of fucking Google shit that exists in this world? I mean, it's probably not that many. Realistically, people aren't probably like, another Google app. But, they could. I don't know. I need to get a Linux phone, speaking of which. And it's just like, start teaching myself programming just so I can use the phone. BT dubs never going to happen. I can't believe I just said BT dubs. I really am sick, aren't I? I wish that worked to take your temperature. Well, Lasso, I'm glad you're loving this, because this is going way better than I thought it was going to. I thought this was going to be like 20 minutes of me sitting here going, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Alagabilis, are you going to appear on Yelling at Parked Cars tonight? Yes, I am, in fact. I'm not missing another one. Last week I skipped because there was a lot of heavy shit going on. Friend died. Wife got super sick. I got sick. It was all just stupid, stressy stuff. But yes, I will be on Yelling at Parked Cars tonight. Because I love those guys. Other than George, they make me feel really big. And yes, that's a dig at comics, culture, and Nick's height.
Because they're all very short. We represent the Lollipop Guild.
Every time. Makes me feel like a giant. And then drunk 3PO shows up and I'm like, damn, I'm short again. It's not natural for a 6-foot-tall man to feel short. It's just not. I miss the days when I was surrounded by pygmies. Midgets. Can't call them dwarves because most of them don't have beards or battle axes. I'd call them gnomes, but they're not magical enough. Anyway. Sorry to hear that, Sir Talks a Lot. Script Doctor filled in, but flubbed your lines. That happens. Hello, lovely Sherry. I'm glad you could join us. I hope you catch the replay where I just went on 45 minutes of nonsense. And now I sit here in awkward silence on a show called Talking, where I haven't done much talking. Let's be real. I've just been sitting here and you guys have just been like schizophrenically imagining things coming out of my mouth. It's been a fun time. The stupid shit that comes out of my mouth when I'm alone and allowed to say whatever I want. There should be a law against me being unsupervised. I need an adult. Oh, wait, I'm almost 35. Fuck. I guess I am the adult. Typical Monday. Yes, Vince. It's always a typical Monday. I can't wait to quit my job. I say that every day, especially on my way to work. Just saying. There's only so much you can take when you're scrubbing other people's shit off of toilets. There's only so much crap you can take when you have to go into the same building and deal with the same mess every single day. And why? Because kids seem to think that their mouths while they're eating snacks are over here, or up here. And it's like, hey, dude, how hard is that? Why? How are you in kindergarten if you can't feed yourself? I mean, give me a break, dude. Ragging on little kids now. What's wrong with me? It was so much nicer when he was ragging on fully grown adults. Having kids is fucking weird, by the way. I have a 13-year-old son, and he's all like, Dad, Skyrim's not running right. I'm like, okay, it's freaking out. And I go in there, and he has 3 gigabytes worth of different characters' save data on Skyrim. All of them. Every single one of them is modded. And he's wondering why the game won't run. I'm like, bro, how many times have you beat this game? He's like, 6. I'm like, and you have save files from different characters dating back to the end of 2019? So, yeah. I was like, there's only one way to fix this, so I'm deleting all your save data. And you know what he did? Okay. He was totally fine with it. That shows you kids don't care about completing video games. They're all like, go ahead. I'll just start a new modded file and get another 150 by next weekend. Which is weird. Homeschooling is weird. I have him a couple different programs and stuff. One's an art school, one's Spanish, one's science. But like, he just got back from a break. He has school today, and then he's on break again. I don't remember ever getting that many breaks in my entire life during school. They're all like, we know you just had 2 weeks off, but come back for a week. 2 weeks off. I'm like, what is he learning? What is he learning from you people? Like, I'm teaching him things like ethics, psychology, mythology, all kinds of just random shit that bounces around my brain. And like, you're like, we have a test next week. Psych, you're off. What? They didn't even, like, they don't even, like, on the school website, they're not even like, here's a scheduled break. They're just like, these days are off. No explanation. Like, sure, it's a teacher in-service day. Let's go with that. I don't think so. These people work like 2 days a week. Just saying. Just saying. I think 48 minutes is long enough. 49 minutes is long enough. I'm going to start saying bye now. I would like to thank Vince Womack for being here. The lovely Sherry. Lasso of Truth. Elagabliss. You're all amazing people. It's great. Nowadays, homeschooling is the way to go, even some private schools are woke. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And that is the main reason my son has not been in an official educational institution, not like a school building, for almost 3 years now. 2 years. What date is it? Yeah, it's been about 2 years now, I guess, because we were going to put him back in public school before all this stuff happened. But That's not ever happening again. Especially when he gets to high school. Not here. I went to high school here, and he's not going through that. No, thank you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off. Thank you for joining me. I love you all very much. For the guys out there, no homo. But anyway, I'll catch you peeps later.